All right, my friends, welcome to episode 118 of Prof and Dev Play Games. I'm the Professor Larry at Prof Plays Games on Twitter, and over there is Anthony, the Dev at SummerSpeak on Twitter. How's your weekend? How's the night? How's everything going?
Going pretty well. Got to see Star Wars yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thrilled.
Thumbs up, thumbs down?
I loved it.
Oh, okay.
I see a lot of people angry about it, and they're just wrong. Completely wrong.
So their opinions are wrong.
I will fight them on that. Not really. But
so what did you like about it?
I don't want to spoil it. It's the first time that the franchise has felt like it's moving forward in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what, of course, people are going to be angry about, because they don't want it to move forward in the way that it's moving forward.
Right. They want everything to stay static and stay the same.
Kind of static, and it's definitely pushing the boundaries of what a Star Wars movie is.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in a good way. It's a challenging movie. It's, how would I say, just challenging in a mental way. You get out of it and you're like, I really liked it, but I had to think a lot about it. There's just so much happens.
And the director is Rian Johnson, right?
Yes.
And he wrote it?
I love. Yes, he wrote it.
Okay.
He wrote and directed it.
Right.
He did Brick. He's done Brick, Brothers Bloom, Looper. Is there any other movies this might be his fourth major movie?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm looking forward to see. Sorry, go ahead.
Which is ridiculous, considering the scale of his other movies, to be like, here's Star Wars.
Yeah, how did they pick him for that? That's very interesting.
Kathleen
choice.
Kennedy had always wanted to work with him and had a lot of respect for his work, and knew that he was a fan. So,
well, and she's the head of Lucasfilm, right?
Yeah,
that makes
sense. So she kind of sought him out.
That must be
and they're
nice.
giving him a whole new trilogy. So.
Right. Well, based upon a lot of feedback I've heard, I think people are excited about that. The ones who liked this film, at least.
Majority of people liked this movie.
Well, I think it's hard to take canon characters in a different direction. I think that's always a recipe for getting some people hot and bothered.
Yeah, so. They won't agree with your take on what they're doing. Although I feel like nothing here is out of place to me, from character wise.
If you think about
it's a very character driven story.
Awesome. Nothing
happens for random it's all based around the characters. The stakes are earned always. Rian Johnson writes characters, and he wrote characters, and it's great.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. Probably when it comes to rental. I'm not sure if I'll get out to the theaters.
Yeah, that's true. Hard with a kid.
I'll stay away from spoilers as much as I can.
You should, in some ways. If you've watched trailers, it doesn't really matter. The trailers did a great job of not giving away this movie at all.
Right.
It's a ride. I loved it.
Awesome.
And I'll probably seeing it. I think my wife's seeing it again tomorrow night, and then I'm going to see it sometime again in the next week.
Cool.
So she called dibs on seeing it again first. So
good enough to see it a couple times. That's pretty high praise.
I was curious what her reaction was, and then her exact words was, whenever we got out, was squeal of delight and holy shit.
Awesome.
So it was everything she was hoping for.
I want to ask a question, but I'm afraid that the answer will spoil it, so I'm not gonna.
You can ask the question. I just choose not to answer.
Yeah, I won't.
Okay.
So for this episode, 118, Anthony and I are going to talk about all the games that we played this year that came out this year. The idea is then we will narrow that huge list down to 10 games for the next episode that we'll discuss more in depth, and then move toward the third episode, which will be our end of the year episode and game of the year discussion, where we'll narrow it down to our top 5 and then rank them, and then based on the math, choose the Prof and Dev Play Games game of the year for 2017. Our game for 2016 was Uncharted 4, and I believe the game for 2015 was The Witcher 3, I think, is what we did for the first year. So, yeah. We're going to do that for the next 3 podcasts, basically our big discussion moving toward what we're going to choose for a game of the year. So I think what we're going to do, we each have kind of big lists of games. I think we'll just alternate back and forth, and we can talk about, the game if we've both played it or not, but kind of, go where the conversation takes us, but basically talk about all these games we've played this year. So we want to start on top of your list?
Sure. They aren't in chronological order or anything.
Yeah,
I just kind of put them together.
Neither, yeah.
So one that I came back to twice this year was Torment, Tides of Numenera.
Mm-hmm.
It came out, I think, in February. and I briefly played it then, and got sidetracked by other things coming out, and then I came back to it a couple weeks ago, a month ago, and have been kind of dabbling in it more. It's good. I mean, it's a novel, so you have to be in the mood that you want to read a lot. And I've now far enough in it. It's a weird thing where I still haven't figured out what the stakes of the story are.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so there's a lot. It feels like there's a lot of meandering because you don't really know exactly what's going on. So I don't know. I'm on the fence of how good it is overall.
So the story could have used a bit of an edit.
I think so. It feels padded in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
For, I assume, playtime.
Right.
And, yeah.
Okay, so first game on my list is one we both played, and it's A King's Tale, Final Fantasy 15, which is a bit of a cheat because it technically came out last year for people who pre-ordered Final Fantasy 15. But for those of you who didn't, it came out March 1st of this year, so I'm counting it. I thought it was just a simple side-scrolling beat-em-up that had some really nice callbacks to Final Fantasy 15. Obviously, the characters, Regis and his buddies, but also like the powers you could use and stuff. And it was we played it for one of our game discussions, and it just kept my attention the whole time. And I like those side-scrolling beat-em-ups, and this was a nice way to turn like a established property into some other genre and keep it entertaining and tell a little bit of the backstory that you didn't get in the main game. So yeah, it was a fun time.
Yeah, I mean, it was a lot more than I expected it to be, but my expectations were pretty low on exactly. A free side-scroll beat-em-up Final Fantasy thing.
Oh, that's right. So, it was free, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I really didn't have this is going to have a lot of depth to it, and it had quite a bit more depth to the combat than I was expecting.
Right. I keep wanting to go back to it and kind of do some trophy cleanup, but I haven't. There's too much to play.
Yeah. For me, another thing that I played, we both played this year, and we can Doki Doki Literature Club.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It is. It's weird. Not what I expected. Is it a game? Arguable. But it's a story, and it's an interactive story, so that's fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's the definition of a visual novel, right?
Yeah.
It's got me in the mood for more visual novels, and I went on the hunt for things that I had in my library and like best of visual novels for mobile or 3DS, and then I stopped and thought about Persona 5 and how much of a visual novel it is at times. So I went back and played some more of that.
Good.
Yeah, scratch that itch.
Yeah. You're up.
Okay. Next one for me is Gwent. It's really nice to know that there's a single-player campaign coming to Gwent. The way that they've retooled the game is interesting for the standalone Gwent, but the text is just too goddamn small. Like on the PS4, it's so hard to read. So I haven't really gone back to it too much because I just can't really read what the cards are.
I agree. I tried it some. My TV's closer, so I played it a little bit there.
Yeah.
As you'll see as we go through my list, I have tried a lot of digital CCGs over this past year. I've noticed I played like 3, 4 beyond Hearthstone, and none of them are Hearthstone.
Right. And
I wanted to dabble. I was just trying. I want to see what's on the market, what's different. And none of them really got there.
Have you tried Eternal yet?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, okay.
That's one of them on my list.
Cool.
Sure, we can go on to that right now.
Yeah,
I did Eternal, and it's okay. It's kind of like Hearthstone still. Everything is somewhat like Hearthstone on some level. It has a bit more Magic the Gathering to it, but not a ton. So I played some of it. I just lost interest.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't scratch the strategic itch that I'm looking for. Hearthstone is fun. I can use it as a very random kind of thing, but if I'm going for something more complicated than Hearthstone, I want something that gives me more strategy than Eternal did. So
it's hard to these companies that are trying to do their own kind of Hearthstone, and it's just not.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of money. They're doing it because there's a lot of money to be made there, and
absolutely,
why not give competition to Hearthstone, or at least try, or the whole thing. But Hearthstone's hard to beat. It's the polish level and just the sheer amount of content that Blizzard puts out for it. It's hard to keep up.
Well, I think it's the best. It does the best at easy to play, hard to master.
Yeah.
That gets people in the door pretty quickly, but also keeps them around.
Yeah.
So I think people are pissed. Sorry, go ahead.
And it does work well like that because of also they really focus on the fact that it's a digital card game,
Right.
and do things you could only do digitally, like and focus the gameplay around the stuff that's fun digitally and not fun. Like if you ever play a Magic Online type thing, not Magic Online, but like they have one called Magic Arena coming out, which is like a newer, flashier version of kind of multiplayer Magic on computer. It's really slow. You realize how slow Magic is if you're not in person.
Right.
You always have to wait for reactions. Does someone get to play? Because every time you do something, there's a window where someone can play a reaction.
Exactly.
So you need to wait. It needs to have at least a certain amount of time so someone can wait if they want to play a card. And it's so slow. So slow. And Hearthstone smartly was like, no, there's no reactions. Or you have secrets, but they just trigger automatically. Like, there's nothing to slow down the game ever. Just play, go.
It's the thing that I noticed when I did Friday Night Magic tournaments was that I would have like things set up ready to go, and then there were like reactions, so many different reactions that the person I was playing with did that I, obviously was a novice and didn't consider, but also I would make one play and then there'd be like 2 or 3 reactions, and it was just like, ugh, okay. It was just
now think if you do that digitally.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so
makes sense.
What's next on your plate?
Quick one. Disc Jam came out with PS Plus. They're trying to do like the Rocket League thing. Like, here's a fun, quick sports game for people to latch onto, and I didn't think it was that fun. You're throwing discs basically into someone's goal, and you can like hook the discs and curve them and bounce off the ground, and just the depth, the way that it was like a 3/4 view. You just couldn't really tell exactly where the disc was or was going to land. It was hard to read the field, and it didn't hook me at all. I played for probably an hour and just bounced pretty hard.
All right.
So not spoiler alert, that's not going to be my top 5.
Yeah. We'll get the last CCG out of the way for me. Was the Hand of the Gods. I think it might still be in beta. I don't know. It's a weird tactical CCG thing.
Is this by the Smite crew?
Guys,
yeah.
And it's the same world as Smite. Like
high res, yeah.
Yeah, and it's you choose a pantheon, you have your god, the whole thing. Because it's more than just you play cards, but whenever you play like a creature down, they actually appear on it's a gridded map, not a huge gridded map, and they appear on a tile and you move them to do your attacks and defense. But it just still has magic, health, attack, and defense. I play that one more, and they've smartly gotten rid of a lot of reactions. None of the cards do a lot of reaction stuff. It's still very fast, but again, it just wasn't that interesting. I played probably an hour of it, a couple games, just trying to get a sense of it, and it just lost me. Didn't have enough hook or newness or uniqueness that felt like I need to stick around for it or would want to spend money on it.
Seems like it's hard to replicate that magic that Hearthstone has.
It is.
Seems like it would be an easy formula. I guess it's still the same thing. Like, even making the game sounds easy, but it's hard to master.
Let's bring up PopCap. Peggle. Peggle's not a hard game to replicate.
Right.
You're shooting balls, hitting pegs.
Yeah.
There was never there was a couple people that attempted to make clones of it or their own thing, and none of them worked. Because the thing is that they don't realize is how long it took to get the physics right, and all the behind the scenes stuff that the code does to make that game feel good.
And it does, like when it hits the pegs, like when it's curving around,
it does so much stuff that you have no clue.
Right.
Whenever you're doing really, really bad, like, it's weird. It has a whole thing as you're going from easy levels to hard levels of, it will slightly adjust your shots, pre-calculate a lot, like thousands of possibilities.
Oh, wow.
To give, like, if you're new, to give you a better sense of, like, hitting those last pegs and things like that. And then that slowly gets turned off the better you get at the game.
And, like, late game, that's basically off, is what you're saying?
Yep.
That's cool.
So
that's
that
really smart.
People feel like at the beginning that they're just doing cool things, even when it's easy. So, but it's not like that came about quickly. And when people try to clone or make these things, they're trying to get them out quickly. And Hearthstone didn't come out quickly. That took Blizzard a long time before they put it out. So,
man, Peggle is so good.
Yes, it is.
The music at the end. Da, da, da. The William Tell Overture.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Good. But Peggle did not come out this year, and neither did Peggle Blast. I was about to add Peggle Blast to my list, but that was 2015. I play that game.
I'm sorry.
It scratches the itch a little bit.
A little bit. That's the
just a
unfortunate
little
part.
Next game on my list is Ukulele. I was a Kickstarter backer. Yeah. Beautiful game, looked really good. The camera was crap. Like, it was really, really bad, and I had to put it down, and I have not come back to it yet, even though I know they've patched the camera. So, yeah, that's about all I have to say about that.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it really is. I think.
How can you screw up Why is camera such an issue at this point in time for third person? Like,
it really shouldn't be. If they're like really trying to emulate everything about Banjo and Kazooie, when you could have ditched the camera part. So. All
right then.
Yeah.
The next one. So I played through three betas of it. Neo.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the first Dark Souls type game that I actually really got into.
Dang.
I kind of want it. Just there's so many other. It came out unfortunately too close to Zelda and Horizon and all that stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
I was not gonna have time to play it, and so it's just one that sits on my list of I want to play this at some point. There's a collected edition now of like Game of the Year edition, so
yeah, it's pretty
that's
cheap.
One that's for has been on my Christmas list for people, so I'll see if I get it or not. But
yeah, that was pretty cheap during Black Friday. It was like $30 for the whole thing, or 40 or whatever. Our mutual friend Travis got hella deep into that game.
I can totally see it.
Yeah. That's just his genre anyway. He loves that genre for some god-awful reason.
I have friends that really love it. I have a lot of friends that really love it. But Neo is one that grabbed me just enough.
Yeah.
So, was pretty excited for that one.
Awesome. Next one on my list is a one that you really, really liked that I did not really get into, Horizon Zero Dawn. It's just came out at the wrong time for me. Like I was into it until Zelda came out, and then I just bounced so hard I could not get back into it. I want to. Next year I plan on trying to get back into it. I don't know what it is about that game that just makes me not interested. I don't know if it's the combat. I don't know if it's the story. I hear...
You just don't like robot dinosaurs, just be honest.
I guess. I just was so into that concept, but I've heard that the story gets better later, so I really want to get back to it and see, kind of the explanation for what happened to the world and stuff like that is interesting. But it's weird. It's like the one game this year that just was basically universally loved that I was just like, and I played like 15 hours of that game and I was just like, nah.
Wow.
So it's really a weird situation for me. So
the story does get better. Yeah. As you go on, the reveal and explanation of like what's happened and what's going on is pretty cool overall. Like, it made me excited to see more in the world, so it's always a good sign.
Yeah, I need to get to that point in the game so that I can, see how good that part is.
Yeah,
I think it might help me, but yeah. So that's my next one. What about you?
Horizon's on my list as well, but I platinumed it. Yeah. So, again, it likely will be in my top 5, but at the bottom of it.
Yeah.
I said it before. Any other year, this would have probably been a top 3 game. But there's a lot of really good stuff this year. So it's got enough little flaws here and there that push it down. But I'm excited when they'll do a Horizon 2.
That's certainly have to be in the works.
Oh, I'm sure. But I'm sure we're 3 years out, 2 or 3 years out from it.
Yeah.
At earliest.
Right.
Unless they want to rush out something, but I don't want them to. Right. I don't think Sony wants them to. I think they want to keep this brand strong.
Well, and we have so much to play as gamers that take your time.
Yeah.
Next for me is the Disney Afternoon Collection, which I was super excited about because, I played those games as a kid: Darkwing Duck, Chip 'n Dale's Rescue Rangers, DuckTales, Tailspin. And it's such a good collection, like all the extra stuff in there, the artwork, the concept art, the soundtracks, challenges, things like that. But the best part about the whole thing, which I wish they'd put into the Mega Man collection, is the rewind. Like you fuck something up, you just hit L2 and you rewind 5 seconds. So those, tough as nails, kind of platforming sections in some of those games, you can get through. So I really appreciate that mechanic, and I really like. That collection is basically each of those games you could, if you were good enough, you could get through them in like 45 minutes or less. So they were designed to, their length was extended because of how hard some of those sections were.
Yeah.
But I got it and immediately played through Darkwing Duck. I have such vivid memories of playing that game as a kid and just being so frustrated at the last boss and wanting to give up. And my brother was like, "No, keep trying. You're almost there." And I did it, and I beat it, and I was just like, the thrill, the exhilaration of beating something that was just like felt so hard, felt really good. So it was nice to revisit that, and I'm happy to have that on my hard drive.
Nice.
Okay, what's up with you next?
For challenge and stuff, Dead Cells.
Oh yeah,
I really enjoyed that game quite a bit, and even I have kind of forgotten it because it's early access, or it was early access.
Is it out now?
Out yet? It's still early access. They said it would be 8 to 12 months, which would have been now because it came out in March.
Yeah.
So January to March of next year, it will be done. But I'll put it on. Really, really slick side scroll action game. I don't know, it got its hooks into me hard. I was just doing run after run after run. One more run, always one more run.
Right.
And I never expected that I would be like beating some of the crazy bosses that I did and like trying to find the shortcuts, because the game opens up more and more. The deeper you get into it, you get different powers that open up different paths.
Right.
And so you can go to different biomes basically, and they were just crazy stuff. And you'll usually go to a new biome and just die because the enemies just do crazy things, and you're like, what is this? And you have to start learning how the enemies attack and what's best and the whole thing. Highly recommend that. That one's definitely in my top 10, but we'll see where it lands finally.
Yeah, I can't believe that I put 6 hours into that game. I played shit of that at the beginning of the summer, basically, and then
I want it on Switch.
I desperately want it on Switch, and the same thing with Hollow Knight. So I haven't purchased Hollow Knight because I'm waiting patiently for it to come onto the Switch.
Yeah, there's a bunch of games like that I would like on Switch.
Yeah, exactly. My next game is Nier Automata, which I regret not playing more of, because what I played I loved. I really loved like the switching different gameplay perspectives. But it came out, I think I got it around March, maybe February, March. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, it was around that time. Yeah.
But I put it down for basically playing the Switch, and then I didn't get back to it. Other things came up, so it's just that's another one I gotta get to in 2018. All right, your turn.
The other one I played that was early access, that came out of early access, was The Long Dark.
Oh yeah.
I played a few hours of it. It's just a survival game. I learned that I would starve or be eaten by wolves in the dead of winter in Canada, basically. Right. So that's what I learned. I'm bad. I'm really bad at that game.
You can't survive. All right.
Nope, can't survive. That's really all I got to say. It got kind of demoralizing.
Yeah. Speaking of demoralizing, my next game I played with a friend, Resident Evil 7. This took me by surprise. Like, I'm not a big fan of horror games, but I've come to realize that playing horror games with people is actually pretty fun. So a couple of nights we put into this game, and just the final day, I think we put 7 hours straight into it, and just went from like a third of the way through the game all the way to the end. Nice. Some pretty fun just scares, basically. Like, it was not just jump scares, but just kind of some psychological stuff too. I think a lot of critics panned like the last third of the game, but I don't recall it being that bad. Like, I loved it. It was nice. I'm just super first Resident Evil I ever played, and probably the last. But just super solid, yeah, from start to finish.
I played Samus Returns all the way through that one. I'm not going to play it on a harder difficulty.
You're done?
Done, which is fine. I 100%ed a normal playthrough.
Nice.
So I was good with that. Got the story. It's a great update. One of the best games out on the 3DS, honestly.
Right. Like, in the whole library, you mean?
Yeah, in the whole library.
Yeah. Right.
So, yeah, I really enjoyed it for the time they played it, beyond the hand cramps.
Yeah. Well, that's a game that I can talk about, too. I think I put like 2 or 3 hours into it and just loved it. Like, the exploring, everything. Once I finally figured out the ticks for some of the Metroids, it became a little easier for me. The button combinations were a little bit much, and I haven't got to the hand cramp part yet, but I know that's coming. But it just didn't stick with me, not because it's not great, it is, but there were just so many other games to play that I just didn't get back to it.
Yeah.
And to be honest, also like if it were on my Switch, I probably would have beaten it, but because it was on the 3DS, I had a hard time going back to that system, which is a shame because I have a bunch of games on there I still want to play. But it's just shiny new things around, and I got my attention instead.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
One of the next things I played was Pyre.
Oh yeah, did you finish that game?
I have not finished it.
Uh-huh.
And I was looking, I'm like, when did this come? It came out in July. What else came out in July? Oh, another game I played.
Persona 5?
No, that was earlier.
Oh, okay.
Persona was in I was playing it in May, June, but
Okay.
Final Fantasy 12.
Oh yes, of course. Then you.
I got
felt
completely
well.
derailed. Yeah. But Pyre is. I want to go back to it. I enjoyed it. The gameplay was neat. The choices that I was making between games of the sports thing that it is were interesting. They were hard choices because its mechanics are tied to it. So you have a lot of choices on your teammates and who you're taking into games and how you upgrade people. Whole thing. There's actually a lot to do in the meta, and I still feel like there's something more as I play later into the game. That there's going to be a twist or something crazier is going to happen. I could be wrong, but it feels that way. That it's building to something, but it's not the end of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I think from what I've heard, there is some sort of twist at some point. So that makes sense.
I figure there is something. It hasn't been spoiled for me, and
right.
I think I'll just try to go back to the game. I'll probably need to restart it, honestly.
Yeah, to remember everything.
To remember, and so that I remember how to play this sports game well enough.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of hard when you check out of a game like that halfway through and you come back and like the sports part is challenging at that point. So if you don't remember how to play it because the game had taught you before, they expect you to be pretty good at it by that point.
Yeah.
So yeah. Next one for me, Injustice 2. I loved the first one. I played it on the Wii U, so I was super excited for this one, and it did not disappoint. It was 10 times better than the first one. The story was a lot more sensical. Just gameplay smooth. It looks great. The DLC, I don't have it yet, but with the Turtles coming, I'm certainly going to pick that up. It's just probably my favorite fighting game that I've played in the last several years. It's really, really a strong game. And there's a free trial right now. You can play through part of the story mode and some one-on-one games right now on PS4. So it's if you're into DC lore, it's a pretty damn good story, I think.
Nice. For me, up next, I mentioned it, Final Fantasy 12. Went deep. I haven't beat it again. I haven't played in a bit, but I've put like 70 hours into that, the Zodiac Age. Some ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
I still love it. It's kind of weird to put it here because I'm like, it's not a game from this year, but it is. But whatever. There's one other like that. But yeah, I really, really love that Final Fantasy. I love the agency it gives me. I love the ability to just program my characters and feel like I'm badass, basically.
Well, that's not your favorite. It's not even your favorite Final Fantasy, right?
No.
Yeah.
It's in the top 3 though for me.
Mm-hmm.
And its mechanics make up for a somewhat meandering story.
Yeah.
So
it's got to be better than the Final Fantasy 15 story, though.
Oh, it totally is. Oh,
yeah,
far better.
Thank God. That story was crap.
It really was.
Oh my God, so bad. My next game on my list is Nex Machina, which Housemarque, they did it with Eugene Jarvis, who did Robotron and Smash TV.
I've met Eugene Jarvis.
You've met him? Awesome.
Yeah, I met him at a GDC one of the years I went. He was just standing there. I knew what he looked like, and I just went up and said hi and let him know that there's a Robotron cabinet in PopCap that we played the crap out of.
How did he react to that?
Oh, he loved it. He was just happy to know that his games were like influencing the younger generation and new designers, and it was just basically saying how much I respected his work and how much everyone at PopCap respected Robotron and his other work.
Well, it definitely influenced Nex Machina, which was in conjunction with him, and just really down to the foundation of an arcade shooter. Looked beautiful, and I think it was the game that probably told Housemarque we're done doing arcade games because we did this collaboration with Eugene Jarvis of all people, and it still didn't sell. There's nothing else in this genre. Which links to the next game. I'll just do these two together. I played Matterfall as well, which was another Housemarque game, which I'm surprised they came out so close together. But it was it's a side-scroller platformer, but still with the Hallmark shooting arcade stuff that Housemarque does. So I tried to put it into a different kind of genre. And I think it was less successful. I played probably an hour or so of it, and it was interesting, and that's probably as far as I would go with it.
Yeah.
Looks good, but just it's weird to do the arcade shooting thing with a platformer.
Yeah, that is strange. But for me, I think we're getting into the bigger ones now. Fire Emblem Heroes.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that came out this year.
It did. It came out February.
That seems like a lifetime ago.
It does.
Everything before the kid is just like a lifetime ago. Like I can't even explain it any other way.
Yeah, no. I understand you. So yeah, Fire Emblem. I recently, last week, fired it up again. I had like 5 or 6 free hero pulls.
Ooh.
Like, I had a bunch just sitting there and a bunch of orbs.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean, I've messed with. I don't think I'm gonna go back to it. I'm just not in the mood for much of a cell phone game right now. Right. But it's clearly doing really well for Nintendo. So.
Well, it's making the most money out of anything they've put out. I think.
Yeah. So.
I don't think Pocket Camp's gonna reach it.
No.
Yeah.
I guess we can speak about Pocket Camp because that's also what I played this year, and that was terrible.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Right.
That is not how I want to see them going forward with their mobile games.
Yeah, it just seemed like such a miss. I feel like that was like the best game for mobile, really.
Yep, total miss.
Because you have to check in every single day in Animal Crossing anyways. Like, it's just, wow, what a whiff.
Yeah, just not the right thing. At least for me. I haven't checked how it's actually doing, like...
money-wise?
Money-wise, it's harder now. Apple removed, like, the grossing chart. So,
oh, they did?
At least on iOS 11 App Store. Like,
okay.
You can't see top grossing lists anymore. You can see, like, most paid and free, but no grossing.
Okay.
So I don't know how it's doing, but
yeah, I assume
not great.
Yeah, exactly. But every single person I hear talk about it is just like really down on it. So I can't see it doing. I mean, obviously not as good as Heroes.
Yeah,
but that's like the perfect game anyways. It's such a gotcha game because there's so many characters in that one universe, you know.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I guess Pokemon would outstrip it if they did something like that.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that they haven't done a Pokemon. Well, they did Pokemon Go. But something more akin to the RPG-ish type thing. Like, right. But Go is probably making them more than enough, and why cannibalize that?
Well, I think their profits this year were under what they wanted for mobile, but I don't know. I think they're still making a lot of money.
Yes, they are.
Next game I want to talk about is Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. I played for about an hour a couple days ago, and that game is like stupidly gorgeous. It is really, really good looking. And just the best way I can describe it is that as you're playing, you just your connection to reality just feels kind of tenuous. Like,
oh wow,
I don't know if what I'm seeing is real. I know what I'm hearing isn't real. It does a really good job of portraying mental illness, even just in the opening hour. It's a good game. I hope to finish it before the end of the year, but I probably won't because it's a game that you really need to play with headphones, and I can only play with headphones at night. Otherwise, I need to be, obviously listening for my kid if she's napping or whatever. So I don't play with headphones during the day. I don't play with sound during the day.
Really.
Yeah. But it's, from what everyone said about it, just seems true. It looks really good and it plays really well, and it's just kind of fucks with your head.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
I'll have to try it at some point. I really want to. Now we're getting to some of the bigger ones. You mentioned it before, Persona 5. That was one that I put the 100+ hours into. 110.
You're playing like a couple days in a row, right?
Yeah, I mean,
toward the end.
Toward the end, because that was whenever I came home and my family was gone, so it was just me in the house, and I basically set up camp by my TV, rolled my computer chair out there, had a laptop set up so I could just have connectivity and stuff beyond there, and I just kind of brought snacks, set my feet up, and I think I played one day from when I woke up to like 1, 2 a.m.
That's
I hadn't done that in
crazy.
forever.
Yeah.
But I was just determined. I'm like, I'm going to finish this game. And I did not finish it in that day. It was like the next day before I finished it.
Yeah, you're like 2 a.m. You're like, I got to go to bed.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, I'm not finishing this thing now. Okay.
I love when games get their hooks into you like that, though, where you just can't think of anything.
Yeah, I was like, I'm finishing this thing. I love that game. I absolutely love it. As the year has gone on, it is a game that I keep returning to mentally thinking about. So it's a good sign.
When you're listening to the soundtrack all the time, so that probably helps.
Yeah, that does.
Next one on my list is Everybody's Golf. I really bought into the hype of some of the podcasts I listened to. We're excited about basically Hot Shots Golf coming back. So I bought it on launch, and I regret doing that. I just didn't put enough time into it really to justify that price, and it came down in price pretty quickly this year. However, the game's fun. The mechanics are fun. Golfing is fun. It's just you have to do a lot of golfing on the first course to open up new courses, and I just got bored of playing the first course after like 4 hours. So
okay,
but it was a pretty fun game. It's something that I keep meaning to play with my wife, but something keeps distracting us. I can't think of exactly what it is.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's up with what's on your list next?
I played Octopath Traveler.
Oh yeah.
At least the weird. It's not really a demo. Alpha. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a pretty meaty.
It is meaty. It's way meatier than I thought. I'm curious. I love the look of it and how it all came together. The combat's kind of weak to me.
Oh, okay.
I don't like just the one person with like a helper sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't feel right. Like I want more choice. It felt like it was because I'm only one person, it's dictated very strongly what I'm going to do. So I don't die. Like there wasn't. So I'm hoping that the final game has more of a party going on.
Yeah.
But it sold me on the look and that they could pull off this like pixelated 3D look. Weirdly, also Unreal 4. So
that's an Unreal 4 game?
Yeah.
Huh.
So there you go. Can power everything. I'm really looking forward to when the game comes out, though, as more info comes out. I think this coming year. I think it's supposed to be a 2018 game.
Right. Yeah, that's one. It's on my list too. I liked the writing. I did the dancer's story. I didn't do the other story yet, but I really enjoyed the writing. It's exactly what I want on the Switch. I want like these 16-bit, 32-bit RPGs, like really long stories. Like I just picked up Romancing Saga 2, and I probably put 15, 20 minutes into it, and it's what I want. I want those nice pixelated RPG stories on my Switch. But for Octopath Traveler, I loved the art. I loved the story. I felt the same way about the battle system, where I knew, you're min-maxing. Like this is the best way to take out these characters by doing this one move over and over again.
And then like the boss, there's a pattern. You're like, okay, this is the pattern I just have to follow on my attacks. Like this, do this, do this. Okay. And like I said, that's a little less interesting to me.
Right. Yes, it doesn't keep me engaged that well, but everything else I liked. So I'm looking forward to that release as well. Another game I played was That's You, which came out for PS4, where you download an app through the PlayLink. It's on iOS, but it's the PlayStation PlayLink initiative where you're trying to emulate like Jackbox. I played it for my birthday. I had a bunch of people over because we do a lot of Jackbox stuff. I was like, oh, this is a really cool game. Let's check this one out. It just went on and on and on. It was, Jackbox are usually like 15, 20-minute games where people can rotate in and out. It was like an hour and a half.
Oh, God.
And I was like, I'm sorry, guys. This was so long. So I have not played it since then, and I don't recommend it as a party game because it's too long and it's trying to be funny and it's not funny. It was like trying to rip off Jackbox and just doing it poorly, I thought.
Okay, I'll stay away from that one.
So stay away from that one.
Super Mario Odyssey.
What a game.
It is a game. Beating it was great, and then getting I got to 250 moons. I think I'm done though, for the moment. It's just I see there's tons of moons to collect and stuff to do, but I'm just like I don't. There's other things I want to play, so I feel like I've got my fill of it. One of the things that's stood out to me though is how much my son has enjoyed that game when he's played it. When he plays games now, when he gets time to, it's always a choice between Odyssey or Minecraft, so it's a good sign.
Yeah, I felt the same way about Odyssey. I actually stopped after I collected 252 moons.
Oh, nice.
No, sorry. 248 moons.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't even get to 250. I was like, yeah, I'm done, which is stupid. I should get to 2 more moons.
Just find 2 easy ones to get because they're there somewhere.
Yeah, I got my fill too. I was like, it was really fun when I played, but I'm not sure that I'm the 100% collectathon person that I thought I was.
Not for that one.
Yeah. Next game on my list is Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, which is kind of reductive to say it's more Uncharted 4, but it is, with new characters. The relationship between Chloe and Nadine is pretty interesting. The puzzles are smart, I thought. The open world chapter is the least interesting part of the whole game, but the rest of it is just beautiful, solid gameplay. It's just anyone who liked Uncharted should play Lost Legacy.
If you give that one a try, that's another one on my list that, well, we'll see if that happens or not.
Yeah.
And I think this is the last one on my list, and you can probably guess what it is.
Oh God, Legend of Zelda.
And that wraps up my year of games, and that game was incredible. And thank you for letting me play it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that you were able to. I think back to like one of my favorite gaming moments of the year. It was just like us sitting in my living room, you playing on the Wii U, me playing on the Switch, and just like having different experiences and just sharing like what we were doing and how excited we were. What a game!
Yeah, no, it's an absolutely incredible game. And again, that was one on my Christmas list for the Switch. I can't buy games right now. I have to wait until next Monday to see what I get, so I don't double up.
Yeah, of course.
I'm just in this weird limbo state. It kind of feels like.
Does your wish list, when someone buys something, does it go off your wish list?
I have it set so I don't see.
Got it.
I have it set, like, I can see my wish list, but it shows me everything that's on there, and only remove stuff after Christmas.
Got it. That's smart.
Unless it would warn me if I try to purchase something, though.
Oh, but okay. It'll say that
I haven't
tried
to purchase anything on my wish list. So
right, good idea.
Because I'm not gonna be mean to people.
I'm a little disappointed with the DLC for that.
Are you?
I am, and it's it's certainly worth the price. There's a ton of stuff, but it's not this new DLC wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like a brand new story or like a lot of there's some cutscenes with the different champions, and I just thought it was going to be more story based, and it's not quite like that. But it has like the best puzzles in the game. From what I hear, like the best boss fight in the game, so that's good to know.
And the Master Cycle,
which should be fun to get.
Which is the most hilarious thing, because I've watched videos of people doing crazy things with it.
Yeah,
of course they are.
Yep, I've seen like they're swinging around with like the spear or something while they're riding around, and they just like run into a tree and get killed by a guardian, and it's some fun stuff. So I have a lot more on my list, so I'm going to try to run through this and just give like one sentence for each game. Fortnite, super fun with a friend. So fun with a friend. Dishonored, Death of the Outsider. I realized I don't like Arcane Studio games that much. Destiny 2. I don't understand how Bungie can fuck up their games as much as they do. They had 3 years to work on Destiny with Destiny 1, and then they just threw everything away and started over with Destiny 2, and it was not great. Assassin's Creed Origins, shaping up to be the best Assassin's Creed I've ever played. Pinball FX3, the new version of the pinball games from Zen Studios.
I played that one. It was on free on the Switch.
Yeah.
Exactly. I played like 5 minutes of it.
Dude, did you experience the HD rumble?
Yes.
Jesus, like my wife's like, what is happening over there?
It's a pinball game.
It's pinball, but it sounds like my Switch is dying. Man, I love pinball. I played most of it on the PS4, but it's a game. Pinball, like my mom and I played when we were kids. When I was a kid, and we just passed the controller back and forth after every ball. So I have a lot of good memories of pinball. So it's fun to play. Next one, Wipeout Omega Collection. I understand where Fast Racing RMX got their stuff from, because it feels like Wipeout. Wipeout just fun, fast, crazy. Mega Man Legacy Collection 2. I don't know how they fucked this collection up. They didn't include the save state stuff they put in the first collection, so it's you can't save anywhere you want and then redo something. So you have to save at certain checkpoints, and they're just few and far between. So that's really frustrating.
Are they gonna do that with the Mega Man X collection?
That hasn't come out yet.
I know.
They're going to.
Have they said?
They have, because they said they're going to go back and fix stuff in the Mega Man Collection 2.
Good.
So I'm hoping they go back and fix that, because it's really annoying.
Yeah, just save state, guys. It's fine.
Yeah. Persona 5, I wish I'd have started earlier. It would definitely be my top 5 if I had gotten further along in the game. Style is just for days. It's fun, great writing, super awesome story. Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, I picked those up because my wife and I like to watch those shows, so we play those, fun family games. Cuphead, tough as nails, smart platformer. Wolfenstein 2, crazy, good story, but so dark that I can't play it because I usually play games at night right now, and I don't want to play it at night. Has Been Heroes, needlessly obtuse. I just said that. Fire Emblem Warriors, really smart take on Musou, putting in Fire Emblem mechanics. That's one that I want to get back to eventually. I rented that one, so I'd like to rent it again. Splatoon 2, they just improved on the first formula, and it's a highly engaging, smart game. ARMS, not very interesting to me. The motion controls kind of killed that game for me. What's next? SteamWorld Dig 2. Just a really smart Metroidvania on the Switch.
Yeah.
Really, really fun. I put probably 2 or 3 hours into that game in the past week, just doing some Game of the Year considerations. And if I had more time, that would be certainly in the top 10, maybe even in the top 5. It's really, really, really good. My voice is fading here. Sorry, guys. Battle Chef Brigade basically mixes platforming, hack and slashing with match 3 puzzle making. Where you're cooking in a competition, and it's super fun. Sonic Mania, I don't get Sonic. I regret buying the game because I don't think Sonic's very good. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Battle Mode is awesome. Goner, probably my favorite roguelike after Dead Cells this year. Mighty Gun Volt Burst, really smart take on platform shooting game like Mega Man, where you can basically remix your own Mega Buster and shoot basically however you want to. Shovel Knight Treasure Trove with the new Plague Knight campaign.
I guess
you played that this year.
I did it, but did it come out this year though?
The Plague Knight did.
I didn't play that one.
Oh, okay.
I played the base game, which I know is 2 years old.
A couple years old.
Yeah. So sorry.
But the Plague Knight campaign is just phenomenal. It's better than the Shovel Knight campaign in my view. So,
okay.
And Shovel Knight was great. So. Next one is Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Just smart strategy game. Really fun take on, putting Mario and Luigi and whatever and company into a new genre, kind of like Superstar Saga, basically.
I heard they're doing multiplayer with that one.
It just came out, actually. Unfortunately, It's local multiplayer. So you make a team of 3 and you pick your loadouts and you play against your friend who picked a team of 3. Like, it would be so fun to play that locally, but I don't have anyone to play locally with, obviously, because I'm tied down at the house for now.
So even if I got it, we couldn't play.
We couldn't because it's not online, which sucks.
Yeah. Okay.
Graceful Explosion Machine, which is like a shoot 'em up with kind of cute, colorful geometric shapes. Pretty fun. Snipper Clips. Really
played that
co-op.
with you. No, we played that.
Yeah, super fun
co-op
puzzle game.
Yeah. No, that was
my God.
ridiculous for how simple it was.
Well, and thank God they just patched in Pro controller support, so my wife and I don't have to play. She does not want to play with the sideways Joy-Con. She hates it. So we played with my mom Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where we both had a sideways Joy-Con, and we gave my mom the Pro controller, and my wife was pissed. She's like, "Why don't we have another controller? Like, this sideways thing is terrible."
Oh, so you're gonna be? Yes. That sounds like permission to get another controller.
Is exactly what I was about to say. As long if I could only find a blue one, I'm not giving in until I find a blue one.
Okay.
Samus Returns talked about earlier, and the last one is Puzzle Fighter.
I did download and play a few rounds of it.
I've played that more than I thought I would.
I'm bad at that game now.
Yeah, I'm not great either, but it's fun to unlock new characters.
It is, yeah.
Oh wow, we played a lot of games this year.
Yeah, and then this doesn't even include the list of stuff that some of I know we played and stuff that I played that came out the last 2 or 3 years that I just got around to this year.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is take this list and then boil it down to next week. We're going to dive even deeper into the 10 that we think are from what we played this year that's the best. And then after that, the next episode, we'll have the top 5 and really get into why we think they're the best of the year.
Oh, God, I want to try to rank my top 5. Don't make me do it.
Yeah, what we did last year was we ranked 1 through 5 and assigned point values and then combined to get to the game of the year. If we can think of a different way to do that, I'm definitely open to it.
No, we should do it. I mean, I should Gotta suck it up. Need to rank them.
Yeah, okay.
We should be able to do that, but
Yeah.
1 through 3 is going to be very hard for me.
Yeah, that's good. That means what a great year.
It means it's an incredible year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm having a hard time with 3, 4, and 5. I think 1 and 2 are locked in, but 3, 4, and 5, there's about 6 games I want to stick in those 3 slots. So amazing. What a great year.
It is. It's been great. A lot of good games. We got to play a lot of good games.
Yeah.
Thank you, Switch. And I also like the Switch.
Well, and there's just so much that tied me over for next year. Like, there's so many games from this year that I really, really want to play that it's keeping me from getting new games, which is great. Because I have to play for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Plus that GameFly keeps sending me games every couple days.
That's true.
So, yeah. I was complaining about how slow they were last time, but this time they were extremely fast. I got Okami HD.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I plugged that in today and was playing for about an hour.
Wolf Zelda, go.
Yeah, basically Wolf
Zelda. That's basically what it is. Japanese Wolf Zelda.
Right.
Very cool. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, thanks everyone for sticking with us through that long list. We'll boil them down to the 10 next week and then move on toward our game of the year 2 weeks hence. So this was episode 118 of Prof and Dev Play Games. He's the dev, I'm the prof, and we were excited to talk about games, and we'll hopefully see you here next week.
Yeah, sounds great.